people, and welcome to another episode of This Is Dope. It's your man Ahmad here, giving you a little insight into some of the dope things that I've come across this week. So, as I've mentioned in previous episodes, and I'm sure you guys have probably realized by now, I am a huge music lover. I love listening to music. It kind of sets my tone and my mode for whatever activity that I'm doing. So, with that being said, today's episode is going to be largely about music. Nope, not doing just music reviews. That's not what we're doing. I will, however, highlight some dope projects that recently come out. But what I want to do is really give you guys some insight into the services that I use, the apps that I use, and how I use those services and apps, and what I like about each one. So the services that I use are Apple Music and Tidal. So I'll go into, the apps, my positive impressions of each app, how it plays well with the other things that are in my home, how I keep or what I use to keep things organized between them, and really just kind of show you guys it won't be a super long video, but a brief kind of introduction into what I do as far as managing my music library. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get right to the video. So the first service that we will talk about will be Apple Music. The Apple Music, I would say Apple Music service / app is my primary streaming / music app. But before we go into that, let me go ahead and let's go through some of the newer releases today as far as musical projects. Not just today, actually last week. There's only maybe about 5 I really want to highlight because to me they were exceptionally dope. The first project being a project by Snoh Aalegra called Ugh, Those Feels Again. Great project, as you can tell by the project cover, the CD cover. Gives you kind of that Sade feel to it. The whole project was really well put together. She's had music that she's put out before, EPs, albums even, and I've always been a fan, but to me, this was her best project. Once again, the name of the project is called Ugh, Those Feels Again by Snoh Aalegra. The next project that I want to draw attention to is May the Lord Watch by Little Brother. Little Brother is one of my favorite hip-hop groups ever, period. They broke up for a while. They recently reunited earlier this year or late last year. Originally, there were 3 members, Fonte, rapper Big Pooh, and Ninth Wonder. They decided to proceed without Ninth Wonder. However, the project doesn't lose any quality because of Ninth Wonder's absence. Ninth Wonder's a great producer, but they really enlisted some great people to do the beats and really help put this project together. It's has that traditional little brother feel, great beats, great rhymes, great ad-libs, some fun, some comedy in there. I mean, it's a Little Brother project. I'm very, very happy they came back, put this out. This is something I've been listening to a lot over the past few days. Just came out this past Tuesday. The Snoh Aalegra project I mentioned earlier came out last week. Another project I want to draw attention to is Jeezy's TM104, The Legend of the Snowman. Back when he was named Young Jeezy, or going by Young Jeezy, he had the original, TM101 and TM102 projects that he put out, and those were classics. I know they were here in Atlanta. And, he kind of, artists sometimes kind of get away from that. It seems he's back. He's back to that classic trap sound. It's something you ride to and just bob your head and, you ride down Peachtree and just, slow roll to it. It's definitely old school vintage Jeezy. Great project. Go check it out. TM104, The Legend of the Snowman, Jeezy. Next project I want to call attention to is Eve by Rapsody. Rapsody is one of the dopest MCs, period. Not one of the dopest female MCs. One of the dopest MCs, period. So this project is great. I've only had a chance to listen to this once. It just came out today, that and TM104. But, I was pleased, very, very pleased. It definitely will be in heavy rotation, joining Little Brother and Snoh Aalegra. You should definitely go check it out. Queen Latifah's on there, people. She has a guest feature from Queen Latifah. So, that enough should make you want to check it out. The next project I want to bring, and really the final one I want to go ahead and highlight this week, is a project by St. John called Ghetto, Lenny's Love Songs. St. John's a newer artist. It's affiliated with Cream Biggs Burke of Rockefeller fame. That's really how I became acquainted with him. He put out an EP before. EP was great. The EP really made me want to hear this. And upon hearing this project, I was not disappointed. Great project. Once again, Ghetto, Lenny's Love Songs by St. John. I'm going to leave links in the description to the projects that I mentioned, both a Tidal link and an Apple Music link. And so with that, let's go ahead and just slide right into my Apple Music / Tidal service app impressions. First, Apple Music. Apple Music is definitely my go-to streaming app / service for a couple of main reasons. One, convenience. It's just so easy to pull up on my phone. It integrates well with my HomePod. It's on my Apple TVs at home. It's just there, right? Also, another really, really big reason is because of the iTunes Match service or feature that Apple offers. For those of you not familiar with iTunes Match, what iTunes Match does is old music that you have, that you downloaded or ripped off CD that you legit own, you're able to upload to Apple. Obviously, there's a cost. It's like $29.99 a year. But you upload to Apple, and what it allows you to do is stream that music. So if you have something that you're looking for that's not being streamed, which there's a lot of music that isn't being streamed for various reasons, then you are able to go ahead and stream that out of your collection in your Apple Music as if you were streaming it. So De La Soul's a perfect example. De La Soul's music is not being streamed because Tommy Boy's ripping them off, right? However, I've purchased pretty much every De La Soul album there is. I've uploaded to iTunes Match. I'm still able to stream De La Soul based off of my own collection as opposed to, having to find it in a streaming service, which I won't. So that's a perfect example. So that is a major, major reason. Another reason I would say is really just the interface to me is a little better. It's a little cleaner, a little more intuitive. I like it a little better. The playlist feature also, as far as, I have some of the Apple playlists, the Apple generated playlists, but to be honest with you, I don't listen to them all that much. The smart playlist feature is great. That is really, really a plus, as well as the my own personal playlist I've created. It's just really easy to create playlists in Apple Music, and they sync to everywhere. So those would be, I would say, the major, major benefits and advantages that I see with using the Apple Music app / service. I have the family plan from a service perspective. Also, as I mentioned earlier, the service integrates so well with the rest of my Apple ecosystem that I'm able to use like my HomePod and pull up music by, using Siri commands. I can't do that with Tidal or anyone else, to be honest with you. That I know Siri's not intelligent enough to do that yet. So that until Siri becomes more intelligent, that is one of the benefits of Apple Music. So let's go ahead and dive into Tidal. Here's the Tidal interface. I know the Apple Music interface is white, Tidal's is dark. Tidal's is always dark, right? The Apple Music interface is switched to light because I turned off dark mode because of the glare. But the Tidal interface has always been dark, which I find kind of cool. So that's a feature, just the dark the inherent dark mode that's always been in the Tidal app. One of the main benefits of Tidal service / app is Tidal offers this lossless subscription. So for $19.99, which I have the subscription, you can download, you create whatever music you add to your library, you can download, and it downloads it lossless. So the quality of music that you're able to stream or play off your phone is greater than that you can get on Apple Music, because Apple Music doesn't offer the lossless quality. So that's a major, major benefit. Also, I would say the content grouping maybe I find better in the Tidal app as opposed to the Apple Music app. They have the ability to go ahead, and create playlists. I guess Tidal created playlists like Apple does with theirs. However, they do also have some artists created playlists, right? Some artists, created playlists or artist influenced playlists, right? So, your favorite artists may contribute to a playlist that they've created, and it'll be on Tidal. Another thing they do is they really group things together very well, like this produced by, right? You have your various high-powered producers here that you're able to find music by, right? So that's great. They have guest curated. This is what I was talking about earlier, where they have the playlists that are curated and put together by these particular artists, so you kind of get in touch with what your favorite artists may want to listen to or be listening to. That is, they're far better at that than Apple Music is currently, or anybody else that I've experienced currently. Another feature is, I would say when I go to search for new music, like, when music comes out on Tuesday and Fridays, when I go to search for the new music, Tidal is more likely to have more obscure or lesser known artists front and center as opposed to Apple Music. Apple Music will have the lesser known artists, title or project rather, but you'll have to look for it, right? And if they're lesser known and you're not aware of them and you're just looking to discover new music, it's a little bit harder on Apple Music, I find, than on Tidal. So when I want to just look for some new stuff, I go to Tidal. Like, perfect example, this Bridget Kelly album, right? The Great Escape. This is here. It's in Apple Music as well. However, this is front and center here. I would have never known she had a new album out, and I happen to like Bridget Kelly's music. Being able to see that here, it gave me the opportunity to give it a listen. And that really, I would say, is a major benefit for me being a music lover. I like discovering new music. So, but really, I didn't want to drag this video out too long. Those, to me, are the major advantages of each respective service. They both are great services. I have them both. Obviously, I've had them both for a while. So, I find benefits in each one. And, if you're not either Apple Music or a Tidal subscriber, I recommend you giving the services a try. I believe they both offer free trials. It's just, I figured I'd give you guys a little insight into how I listen to music, what I listen to music with, and kind of, some factors that kind of come into play when I'm listening to music. Another thing, I want to touch on briefly is I have this app that allows you to transfer songs back and forth between services. So a playlist I create in Apple, I can transfer via SongShift. The name of the app is SongShift, right? I just loaded this on my iPad. I have it on my phone. But what you're able to do is go in, you set up a source. You can connect to, whatever you want to connect to Apple Music. And then, you authorize. You go through that whole process, and then you're able to connect to Tidal. And then when I want to make sure my playlists are synced, I will, and I don't feel like logging in, but you can connect to Tidal, and I have that on my phone, and I can transfer, copy playlists back and forth between the two services. So SongShift is a great tool. I have the paid version. There's a free version, but I think it comes with ads and limitations. but it's not an expensive app. I think I pay like maximum $3, $2.99, maybe $4.99 for it. Well worth it if you're a music lover. Another consideration is also the speakers you listen to. I have a HomePod here at home. I listen to music sometimes on the HomePod. Obviously, the Apple Music app is going to play nicer with the HomePod than the Tidal app does. You also can't stream music natively from anything other than Apple Music on your HomePod. So, there's a number of other factors that come into play. But, this is, me and my setup. Well, hopefully that was helpful. Hopefully that I gave you some insight into how I do things with the Tidal app and the Apple Music app. Hopefully it gave you some insight into how I use those apps to interact with things around my house as far as my HomePod is concerned and so forth and so on. And maybe give you guys a little more insight into maybe a couple of the limitations I found with each app. So, if you're in the midst of deciding between a streaming service, or if you've always wondered about, Apple Music or Tidal, hopefully this gives you a little more information that you'll try either one of those, if not both, out. I personally have 2 music services because I love music, and the 2 together, fill all the gaps that I need them to fill as far as my music listening experience. So you have the Apple Music, which has the interface benefits, the iTunes Match feature that can be associated with it, which is huge, and the interoperability with just the Apple ecosystem I have at home. And then you have Tidal on the other hand with the great quality of music that you're able to download, the excellence that is the way they curate their content, which I think is a definite positive and win for how they do things, and the ability to be able to easier find newer acts and new music. So, like I said, each one serves its purpose. I use them both together to kind of complete my whole music ecosystem, music listening experience. So, hope you guys enjoyed. Hope it was helpful. Hope it gave you some insight into the way my crazy brain thinks. So with that being said, if you guys liked the video, please push like down below. If you like the videos I put up, subscribe to the channel. The subscribe and the like buttons help, Google's magical, mystical algorithm, get my content out to more people, which is really what I want to do. And hopefully you want me to be seen by more people too. But if you want to be notified when I upload more videos, click the notification bell, and it'll let you know when I upload. Generally, I try to upload once a week. Really just depends on my schedule. But that's generally how often I try to upload. If you guys have any comments, suggestions, requests, leave them in the comment section down below. That really is it. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great rest of your day, great weekend, and I'll talk to you guys next week. I'm out.